Hi, Jasmine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I have to say, you went to Berklee College. I went to Northeastern. I feel like
Oh,
we are extended family, maybe. I don't know, but like,
yes.
yeah. What did you take away from your time there, Jasmine? Anything?
Oh man, I took away so much. I was there for 2 years, and I was studying vocal performance.
Hmm.
Um, I think the beautiful. Not a lot of people graduate Berklee College of Music
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
because they all go on tour and they all form bands together, and it's a great way to kind of really be introduced to the music industry.
yeah.
Um, I I learned I just learned a lot about honestly music theory. I took a lot of music theory in high school. I went to LaGuardia.
Well, the
Uh,
Fame High School.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, wow, yeah.
So I also went there for vocal, and I learned a lot. Uh, kind of like sight singing. That's what they
Right.
call it. And also at Berklee, but just also being around like all of these talented musicians and collaboration, I think, was a big thing that I learned, like just learning how to reach out to other people and for like forming a band, forming something. I formed like a cover band like while I was there.
Nice.
And so it was a really amazing experience, and I loved it, but I ended up leaving because I had to like do my own acting training, which I really needed at that moment.
Yeah,
And one of the best decisions I ever made,
yeah.
because here I
Yeah,
am.
yeah, absolutely. And musically, if you're getting into Berkeley, chances are you're pretty damn talented to begin with. So it's like it's worked out for you, I would say, pretty well. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, right, so you went through like a rough patch. I was looking at some of your life, right? I think you had grabbed a waitressing job at one point, and people are telling you like all the things you aren't, right? You are not black enough, you are not sexy enough. Up to that last one, I'm wondering if that person who said that needs corrective lenses.
Yeah.
I just how how do you get through a time when everyone's telling you why you are not as why you're not as a good a person as you think you are? Like they're almost belittling you, backhanded comments. I don't know. How do you get through a time like that when you know your ability, when you know what you're worth?
Um, that was a very hard period in my life. Um, and I don't think at that time I was very confident, you know.
Mm,
I I think at the end of the day, learning how to get through it was everything was about the work to
right.
me, because even somebody telling me that I'm not sexy enough, like I it's like, well, like fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not I want the role because it's meaty and I can like sink my teeth into it, and I want nuanced characters. I don't want just like the sexy role. So, F you, like I'm moving on, and I'm continuing doing, the next audition of like what I'm interested in,
Right.
and I've been really lucky, and I've been able to like really get some amazing parts, due to the fact that of the work that I do, and the work, it's all about the work, and
Absolutely.
that's what you have to go back to, and that's what I want to be known for. Not known for like the sexy character. I want to be known for the complicated character, the nuanced character, the character with so many colors and flaws, and so it it was the love for what I do, and
Mm.
and why I do it, that kept me going.
Yeah, because you can play the sexy, but you can also play all the things you just said. So it's like it's such a dated like mindset. It's a very like old school like I don't know. When I read it, I was like that you at that time of your life, it was like it's the worst time to get hit with those like what are essentially backhanded compliments, right?
Yeah, it was so stupid. I remember I auditioned for it like 3 times, and they were like, she's not sexy enough, and I had to come back like in a sexier outfit, and
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
so it's so
Ah,
stupid because it's like all you could do, like just cast me in it, and then like that's all up to the costume design. I think we've changed a little bit in the industry like since
yes.
then. I think that was like 10 years ago. And I
Mm.
think hopefully I think so. I think there's a little bit of some movement there, but that really was an old school kind of way of going about things. And I remember I was really, really hurt. I remember that really hit me. And I was just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this industry sucks. Like it really sucks. I think I remember like I cried after, and I was just like, why did I do all of this studying about the work when I'm going into these rooms and this is all that they care about.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't get it. I'm glad I didn't do that project, you know.
But then,
So
but then
I,
you have like a reversal of fortune, because right around Hamilton, you have people that now see the greatness that you've always known you were capable of. They see this person that is such a good actor, capable of not one but two roles in Hamilton. So now you have something or somebody or people that see what you are actually worth. Not so that's kind of a that I don't want to say tragedy, but that negativity you experienced prior to that only puts more joy into what happened around Hamilton. Is that a good way of looking at that?
I think absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
it's also just it's me sticking to who I am as an artist.
Right.
And you have to, sometimes you just have to go through those like terrible moments, and there's a lot of those moments, I think, in this industry. And you really like know what you want to do and what you don't want to do, and what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take.
Right.
Like me as a older woman now, and I've been in this business for a minute now. It's like I know what I want, I know what I need. And I know the roles that I want to play, and I also know like what I'm going to take and what I'm
Mm,
not going to take,
mm, mm.
how people talk to me, how people approach me, and treat people with kindness.
Yeah, and blind spotting is essentially, for those listening or watching, it's essentially Ashley's story, right? It's you. It's is there a lot of pressure to create there? Is there a lot of pressure to like how do you come to a point where you decide what Ashley should be like, what you want audiences to see coming away from it? How do you formulate that, Jasmine?
Well, I think I was very fortunate because this is a unusual kind of way of forming Ashley. Is
Yeah,
I've been involved in this blind spotting world since the movie.
you're right. Right.
So, I'm very close to Rafa and I'm very close to David. They're like some of my best friends at this point. And so when they called me and they were like, we're thinking of making this a TV show and making it about Ashley, like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, duh, absolutely. Like I'm going to their house and we're just like talking, we're just texting, like, how do you think Ashley should wear her hair? Like, let's make a Pinterest. Like, I've been talking about Ashley and her and who she is for months before we even started the show.
Right.
And I would see like early, like, vision boards of even what the season would look like. So the fact that, I've been a part of this process like super, super early, and just kind of like forming the show and forming the world and forming who she is. I mean, it that's how it started. So it's like talking about this character and who she is, for a year, even before, we started. It's so many conversations. It's laughing over dinner. It's what do you think about this? It's what do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's more than just me sitting a couple of weeks before and coming up with some ideas. It's been multiple conversations, like over drinks, over, movie nights, just hanging out in the kitchen, a text, a call.
So it's a long process in developing. It's not like, okay, I got the script, let me just do this overnight. Like, this is something that, yeah, I gotcha. It's hard to see her try to maintain happiness, Ashley. Like, as a viewer, I could feel it. It's just like, the burden she has to be as a mom watching somebody. And I think the show does a wonderful job of showing how incarceration not just affects the person going away, but the ripple effect of everybody else. Like, and to watch you balance that is just, as someone who loves actors, it's just a work of art, Jasmine. You do such a wonderful job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, but I love how the show does expose it. Hey, listen, like, it's hard, but yeah, it's even harder for those on the outside trying to pick up the rest of the pieces, right?
Yeah, I think that's the main part about the show. We've seen so many stories of how the prison system affects the people in prison, but it's like, what about all of the people that it trickles down to, all of the families, especially the mothers that, are trying to keep this family together. I had a loved one that was in Rikers, and I would visit them, my family and we would go visit them. And mostly all of the people that were in there visiting were all women and mothers, bringing kids and trying to, how do you keep a relationship together? How do you keep a family together when you have a loved one that's behind bars and they make it hard? Sometimes you'll go to a visitation and you'll never see them that day. Because there's a lockdown, there's something that happens. You get there and you wait hours and you might never see them. So I think it's bringing light to that, and also bringing light to the unsung hero who's Ashley, who's many, many women that are out there that are like her, that are trying to do everything that they can to keep it together, I guess.
Thank you for all this time. I have 3 points I want to throw by you before you go. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you so much, Jasmine. One of the things is the scenes that I love are with Rainey and working with Helen Hunt and just watching you guys. It's so much fun. I mean, I still cry when I think about her in Castaway. I get so emotional.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want about Helen Hunt, because she has certainly complimented you on more than one occasion. When I was doing research today, she's on the Jasmine train. She's all about you as an actor for sure.
Oh God, I'm in the front row seat. It's crazy because like this woman has done everything under the sun. I mean, like she's been through it all in this industry, and she's not just an actress. She's been a producer, she's a writer, she's a director, she's everything. And so we've had a few scenes. Some of my favorite scenes that I have with her is in the season finale in episode 8 of the second season. And she's an amazing actress, and you just get to go like head to head with her, and we have these intense moments, and then in between breaks we're like hugging and loving on each other, and it's just like that's everything. She's an incredible actor, and so you just learn so much every time you do a scene with her. You walk away a better actor when you act with Helen Hunt. Like, that's the kind of actor that she is.
And speaking of incredible, the scene with you looking into the camera, rapping and talking with the tennis racket is powerful as all hell. It reminded me very much of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, where he has a lot of scenes where like Radio Raheem is talking about love and hate, and it's talking right to the camera. To me, those scenes hit hard. They hit hard. Spike does a few of those. Great work. Talk about that scene. Unbelievable. Like just really powerful, like forcing itself through the television. Just great stuff.
Yeah, we were running out of light when we shot it. And I'm taking a tennis racket and I'm breaking all of these things. And so I only got to do it twice in each room. So I only, in each, like if you break it in half, there's like 2 sections, and I only got to do it twice. So it was a lot of pressure doing it. And I wanted to make sure, you know, there's all of this choreography that goes into it as well. It's like, you got to break it on this side. You got to make sure you're doing it on here. It's a lot, but it's one of my favorite things that Ashley does in this show. You know, it's her. We always talk about that. These are like these letters that she's writing to Sean that he can read when he gets older, you know, so he can understand like completely what she's going through in her emotions. And, you know, I approach them almost like Shakespearean monologues, you know, and I'm really trying to make sure that it's grounded and honest. And, you know, with every beat, you're seeing her think of the thought. It's not like a performance. It's not like, no, Ashley is going to perform. It's like, I really want to make sure that you're understanding that it's coming to her like right in the moment. And so it's very nerve-wracking doing those, you know, because I feel like I never have enough time. And I always want so much rehearsal time, but we never have that because it's TV.
Yeah.
You know? But we all work together and try to do the best that we can. And it's one of like the more of the challenging things that I do. But I mean, and I always turn around to Rafa and Diggs and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And they're like, yeah, you can. And
yeah,
so
that's awesome.
it's the best. It's what you want, I think, as a creative and as an artist. It's, I mean, something I can sink my teeth into. And even though it is nerve-wracking, I have so much fun doing it. And I think it's just like one of the most badass things that Ashley does in this show.
Yeah, and she does a lot. I want to end with this. So you have a huge following on, and I'm talking about the show and your performance on Reddit. I wanted to run one comment by you. These are from fans, and two quick questions. This is the comment. She's doing phenomenal work. The nuances of depression and disassociation while trying to be strong on the outside are all over her face. That roller coaster shot was incredible. When fans can pick up on that, how great is that? Like, these fans know their stuff. I mean, it's amazing. You know?
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, when we shot that scene, it was the last day of shooting and I got really, really sick. I think it was just like us shooting outside. And I think like we did this whole thing. And I think like I was just so tired but it was the first scene that we shot on the last day. And I think we were on the roller coaster about 9 times. And I don't think you understand how hard it is to be on a roller coaster in the front and not scream or smile or put your hands up.
Oh, I can't go on a roller coaster in general. So that adds to that scene. You know, I can't even imagine.
But they described it perfectly. That's exactly what, you know, Ashley is doing through the whole entire season. She's feeling all of these feelings and she's just pushing them down, and she's going through a depression and she's in denial about it because I think she feels this pressure that she has to do everything herself. And she just wants to be good at it. She wants to be good at it all. And, you know, none of these characters are communicating properly and saying what they need or what they want in a very healthy way. And it isn't until at the end where they're all honest with each other of really what they're going through, where they can kind of come to some conclusion of how to get through this together. But they described her perfectly. That's exactly what she's going through.
Yes, super bright fans. Yeah. Two quick questions. Did you speak to any couples that experience incarceration to prepare for the role?
Couples, no, but I did go through my own personal.
That's right. You said you went through your own. Yeah, that's right. And the last thing is, you called this the most fulfilling creative work of your career. What aspects are most fulfilling to you, Jasmine?
It's the way that David Diggs and Rafael Casal have decided to, you know, tell this story through a woman's perspective and through all of her flaws and, you know, the roller coaster of her emotions. She is such a real person. And through that, we get this theatrical way of storytelling through TV that I've never, ever seen before. And the fact that I am blessed and honored to get to kind of lead that and creatively express myself in these heightened ways and these beautiful ways. To me, it feels like a piece of art. And that is everything to me.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable performance. Is there anything you wanted to get out there before I let you go? Whether it's projects or show or anything related, maybe social media, whatever you wanted to get out there, Jasmine.
No, I think the show is so important, and the more people that it reaches, I think the better. This show is so funny. It is a comedy, but we talk about, very serious issues, and everybody just go and watch the show. It's a beautiful piece of art,
And the way they're blended, the comedy and the drama, it's perfect. I love it. And I love your work, and I can't thank you enough for coming on today. You're so talented. Thank you for this.
Oh, thank you.